Imanzi 105.1 FM. Twese hamwe birashoboka.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
You are tuned to Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umuganwa and Manzi Prince. Now the headlines. President Paul Kagame today received Haile Mariam, chair of Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, its president Agnes Kadibata, and the country director Jean-Paul Ndagijimana. The Institute of Applied Sciences Ines Ruhengeri is set to host the 13th African Association of Remote Sensing of the Environment International Conference from October 24th to 28th, 2022. The two candidates still in the race to become UK's next Prime Minister, Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak, have expressed their support for the UK-Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership. Welcome back. News in detail. President Paul Kagame today received the chair of the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, Haile Mariam Desalegn, accompanied by the organization's president Agnes Kadibata. The meeting, during which the president was briefed on the upcoming summit on agriculture and food systems, was also attended by country manager Jean-Paul Ndagijimana. The summit, also Africa's premier forum for food and agriculture, is expected to take place in Kigali, September 2022. In its 12th edition, this year's summit will, among others, call for accelerated action by leaders, innovators, businesses, private institutions, civil society, as well as development agencies to put forward bold actions and unite efforts towards the continental food security agenda. The forum will be held under the theme Grow, Nourish and Reward, Bold Actions for Resilient Food Systems. Some of the key highlights at this year's forum will also include the Agribusiness Deal Room, a platform for connecting innovators critically in need of capital. Other activities include the Presidential Summit, a Farmers Forum and a Youth Town Hall. Now, the Institute of Applied Sciences Ines Ruhengeri is set to host the 13th African Association of Remote Sensing of the Environment International Conference from October 24th to 28th, 2022. The conference will take place at Kigali Conference and Exhibition Village under the theme Space and Geospatial Technologies for the Africa We Want. The conference is conducted biannually across Africa, alternately with the AfriGIS Conference, and is the premier forum in Africa for research on remote sensing technologies, geospatial information science, gathering leading scholars from the remote sensing and related communities. According to Josam Potel, a lecturer at Ines Ruhengeri and coordinator of the local organization committee for the conference, the main objective of the forum is to bring together scholars and professionals from the African and international community to present latest achievements, discuss challenges, and share experiences in space and geospatial technologies. Tackling the space sector in Rwanda, he said it is new but has taken shape given that it is helping in socio-economic transformation of different sectors such as health, environment, land use management, adding that the establishment of Rwanda Space Agency also shows how the country sees potential in space. Dr. Vincent Biruta, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, is in Kinshasa, DRC, where he is attending the 21st Summit of the Economic Community of Central African States that opened today in the Congolese capital. Manzi Prince has more on this report.
Dr. Biruta joined other regional leaders and heads of governments at the summit, which was opened by DRC President Felix Antoine Tshisekedi, who is currently the president of the community. Other heads of states that attended are Central African President Faustin Archange Touadéra, President Carlos Manuel Villanova of Sao Tome, and Chadian President General Muhammad Idris Deby. The summit, which is held under the theme Health, Education and Culture, is also expected to be attended by Musa Faki Mahamat, President of the Commission of the African Union, Jao Samuel Kahol, Executive Secretary of the International Conference on the Great Lakes region, and Akumi Adisna, President of the African Development Bank Group. According to the DRC presidency, during the meetings, the heads of state and government will analyze the report and the recommendations of the Council of Ministers and recommendations on monitoring ECA's progress in security, regional integration and energy policy. Other key on the agenda are security issues in the ECA's region, particularly the situation in the host country and other member states which are dealing with security issues. Also on the agenda, there are economic and political issues which have been hindering socio-economic development in the Central African region. The meeting in Kinshasa comes at a time when tensions between Rwanda and DRC are high following Joint Permanent Commission between Rwanda and DRC, where the mediation of Angola agreed on practical steps to de-escalate tensions.
The Rwanda Food and Drugs Authority has removed over 20 herbal medicines from the market over safety concerns. The regulator said the decision was taken after it conducted an inspection during which samples of herbal medicines were collected for testing in laboratory, with the results showing that many products did not meet minimum safety and quality standards. The recalled herbal medicines include Sanamake, Ibanga ry'umuryango, Uzakira soap, Dragon Vort powder, Stevia sugar, Green mix, Umurebana, Igisura, Rusenyanzoka, and Muzehe wakazi.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanuye.
Protests broke out in DRC's eastern city of Goma this morning, with residents storming the United Nations base demanding the departure of UN peacekeepers. Several videos and photos from hundreds of people blocking raids and chanting anti-UN slogans before storming the headquarters of the UN peacekeeping mission and its logical base, smashing windows and looting computers, furniture and other valuables. Protesters also set a UN car on fire, while Congolese troops were also seen carrying loot. Protesters claim the UN mission has been part of the insecurity problems in eastern DRC instead of providing a solution. The United Nations Organization Stabilization Mission in DRC has long come under criticism for its perceived inability to bring about peace to the conflict-torn region. The force is also said to be running on a hefty budget of $1.4 billion annually, with little or no impact on the ground. Over 120 armed groups from the volatile eastern region of DRC, where the conflict has displaced millions of people. The two candidates still in the race to become UK's next Prime Minister, Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak, have expressed their support for the UK-Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership, under which some of the migrants and asylum seekers who illegally entered the UK are to be transferred to Rwanda. Sunak and Truss are bidding to replace Boris Johnson as both the leader of UK's Conservative Party and Prime Minister, with the party set to announce the ultimate winner in September.
French President Emmanuel Macron has begun a three-nation tour of African states. This is his first trip to the continent since winning re-election, as he seeks to reboot France's post-colonial relationship with the continent. Macron's three-tour started with a visit to Cameroon before moving on to Benin and then Guinea-Bissau. 34 people have died in central Kenya after their bus veered off a bridge and plugged into a river valley. The incident occurred overnight in Tharaka-Nithi County when the bus of Modern Coast Company traveling from Meru to the port city of Mombasa veered off the Nithi Bridge and fell into the valley 40 meters below. Officials said that initial investigations showed the bus brakes may have failed, preventing its driver from properly turning on a sharp bend at the bridge. The National Transport and Safety Authority, Kenya's transport regulator, has ordered all buses belonging to Modern Coast to suspend operations pending on investigation into the crash.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi. Now the Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report. Today's trading session recorded its turnover of 973,548,400 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in 3 deals on the fixed income market, while the equities market remained quiet. Bank of Kigali closed the counter at 265 Rwandan francs, Brerwa at 160 Rwandan francs, I&M Bank at 43 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 177 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, and RH Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. Now the currency market review of today. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.5 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 8.7 Rwandan francs. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.43, and the selling price was 0.44. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.26 and the selling price was 0.27. Burundian franc buying price was 0.49 and the selling price was 0.5. The US dollar buying price was 1,017 and the selling price was 1,037. The British pound buying price was 1,216 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,241 Rwandan francs. The euro buying price was 1,038 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,058 Rwandan francs. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.